What happens when you swap out one part of your gravel bike that completely changes everything? Same frame, same wheels, same everything except the tires. Dainty, moderate, and robust. 3 sizes, 3 rides, yet somehow 3 very different bikes. And this is like kind of funny because I didn't expect it to have that big of a difference. And not just how the bike handled, but how it felt, how I rode, what I felt I could get away with and what I shouldn't. This wasn't about testing speed or rolling resistance. We'll leave that to the dorks. This is about the ride experience and how changing this one thing can have a dramatic effect on the handling, confidence, and experience of our rides. I don't care if I said experience twice. So for this experiential experiment, I ran the Parley Taos, a high-end, highly capable gravel rig that I love this bike. It's set up with Shimano GRX, and the wheels are Chris King Fusion Fiber gravel wheels, which has an outdated 23mm internal rim width, which personally, I would be looking for anything between 25 and 30mm internal width. This has a dramatic effect on the tires, but these are what I have, so this is what I'm running. All right. We kick this off with the lightest, quickest, skinniest of the bunch, 700 by 35 Schwabby G1 Speeds. In fact, these are the tires that I use on the regular on my number 22. I had to take them off to do it, Since these are the smallest tires, that also makes them the lightest. 20.3 pounds and 9.2 kilograms. Which means they are perfect for climbing on the pavement. Aside from the fact that climbing's just generally hard. They're fast, as far as my non-science can tell. It makes the gravel bike feel a little more like a road bike. It's cool to experience it firsthand. Climbing was snappy, cornering was sharp, and I could hammer without having to think about it. I mean, that's how I was taught to hammer. You just start swinging that fucker. But once you hit the dirt, well, it's not sketchy, you really gotta pick your lines. As you would expect, on the loose stuff, these are a little sketchy. Just something about skinny tires, they slice through in like a really not cool way. It's a lot more rigid and you can't fully relax in the dirt descents. For sure more rigid. With these tires, any amount of mud or loose material is gonna make your very capable bike much less capable. Although I do know one very strong use case for these tires on this type of bike, which I'll tell you in a moment. And if you're into the experiential science without the spreadsheet, feel free to subscribe. Side effects may include nausea, diarrhea, headache, vomit. With that said, this setup is amazing if your rides tend to lean a little more all-road, which I quantify as rides that tend to be 50% or more pavement than dirt. Yes, we can absolutely run 35s or smaller on our gravel bikes, and on the pavement, it totally rules. That guy, you scared the hell out of me.
Oh, I'm sorry. I love your stuff.
Oh, right.
Yeah, you've really inspired me quite a lot. I appreciate it.
No way. Hey, shout out Julian. What a ripper. I couldn't keep up with him. Where was I? They're perfect for winter base mile and all-road winter excursions. They're fender friendly. But once we start exploring any amount of chundrous terrain, skinny tires, they're just gonna hold us back. So I went bigger. Enter Schwalbe G1 Ultrabyte 700 by 45. These felt like the zine of revelation. Instantly more stable, more comfortable, but with still plenty of speed on the pavement. Although climbing is just a little bit harder on the pavement. We got a little more friction stealing our precious watts right out from under us. You thief. Plus, more confidence in the dirt. It was like the bike could finally take a full breath. On the chonk, it feels much more at home. And the amount of slog trade-off you give up on the pavement, I think is absolutely worth it for what you gain in the dirt. A little more confidence in all aspects. Not too fat, not too skinny, it was just right. Or another way to say that is it does a really good job of faking both. So the next logical step was to just go bigger. Shipping a bike shouldn't feel like solving a puzzle. But if you've ever tried, you know the struggle is real. Ridiculous shipping fees, confusing packing requirements, and the crippling fear knowing our bike might not make it in one piece. It's frustrating, it's overwhelming, and while it often is, it doesn't have to be this hard. Enter bike flights. They're actually cyclists. Like, they know what a derailleur is. They're a team of bike shipping experts supporting your shipment from door to door. And they've shipped over 1.5 million bikes. So they're qualified. And their mission to make shipping bikes as easy as riding them. Woo! Thank you for that. Step 1, go to bikeflights.com. Step 2, book your shipment in minutes. Time. Step 3, get your bike packed, picked up, and safely delivered without the stress. And if you need a box, they've got you covered. Honestly, it's brilliant. It goes from this to this. It's been a long time since I've been this excited about 3-ply corrugated cardboard. Save up to 40% on shipping with the best protection for your bike. Hit the link down below and let's get your bike to where it needs to go. Woo! Minus the headache. For the big guns, we went with Schwabby G1 RX Pro. They're 700 by 2 inches. For better or worse, this video's not sponsored by Schwabby. It's just what I had, and I figured it just made sense to keep it as consistent as possible. So, now we're talking chonk.
Holy 17! 18 PSI just went up.
I think we're gonna run it. Let's do it.
I was afraid these would be overkill, but as soon as I hit dirt,
We found that comfort zone.
it was the grimiest, dirtiest, best decision I ever made.
Even on the pavement, I can tell. It's a more comfortable ride.
The grip, the control, it's like liquid courage fueled by PSI and tire sealant.
Yeah.
It was a special moment where this bike finally found its voice. But of course, there's trade-offs. On the pavement, these just feel slow. It's like a plush tariff that you pay for in watts. Too soon? But these are interesting because they're specific. If your rides are mostly off-road and you occasionally hit pavement, these are the way. Big chonk, single track, plus descending on pavement with these tires feels like a little bit of a cheat code because you're so, like, stuck to the ground.
I might be slower, but boy, I feel much more planted on the bike, on the road.
It just is like instant rubber courage. Awesome. But you gotta slog them up the hill. You've been warned.
I was just thinking of the analogy of bikes like guitars. Each bike is gonna have a different sound, but the things you put on that bike are how you're gonna dial in that specific tone that makes it sound just right. And that's what tires do. Certain tires just work for certain bikes. And this bike likes big tires.
All right, so what is the right tire size?
It all depends on where you ride and how you ride. 35s, fast, firm, all-road kings. 45s, I'm gonna call them the perfect gravel size. 50s and up are adventure-first, dirt, soul surfing, and what are you riding this weekend? Can I come? And this is the beauty of gravel bikes, as they can shape shift into different types of bikes by just changing something as simple as its tires.
You can't do that with every bike.
Also curious, what's your current go-to tire size? Lay it on me. And no, this wasn't a scientific test. I don't care about being faster or the aspects of competitive cycling. I rode, I felt, I compared, and I paid attention. And honestly, sometimes that tells you more than data ever could. Now the next thing we gotta go over are all the things that we have to look for when getting a new gravel bike. And lucky for you, I've consolidated that into this video. Yeah, it's just a brisk 25 years of knowledge compact in 8-ish minutes. Huh. Life feels so futile all of a sudden.